here. Small. Small. Your Prime Vexnet is so small. I remember when it was this underdeveloped. Simpler times, less to worry about. You must have only recently discovered the Vexcalibur, huh? That's right. Only around a month or so ago. Lorelei immediately took to it for study. As you already know, that's how she made the breakthrough necessary to enter and create her own domain within the Vex network. Making this the safest haven we have against those who would stand against our cause, present and future alike. Lorelei worked herself so hard to have it grow. The Prime Vexnet was to her as the Prime Conflicts to me, to us. I wonder if she felt this way at this point in our timeline. It's that important to her? Think about it, genius. It's something completely of her own design, the culmination of her research. Doesn't that remind you of anyone? Of course it does. That's why I've always felt so safe around her. Why she's been my closest confidant since I was risen. She took care of me. Got me on my feet. But I don't need to tell you any of this. Just not many other people I can talk to about this. About her. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You're gonna want to keep that well enough in mind for future reference. It's a lesson I learned in the hardest of ways later down the road. I shouldn't be meddling this much in your timeline. However, I've broken out of traditional causality like the stranger did, so I don't foresee my interference having any direct negative consequences. Does that mean that you'll stay? I trust you well enough to be more than happy to let you in. We'll discuss what happens to me after we've addressed my main purpose for being here. Though I don't mind our idle chatter, it's actually nice to have a young me to give my advice to. Especially since I know you'll take it to heart. Besides, as I said, we have all the time in the world. My being here is less of an urgent matter and more of a preventative measure. I have a theory that given we take the necessary steps, that future will no longer occur. That is to say, this instance and the instance I am from will collide into one reality. You've been talking about preventative measures as if something in our future is so completely devastating that the Prime Conflicts operation and organization suffers a catastrophic failure. About that. This story is a grim one. I refuse to sugarcoat it. The paracausal power of the Prime Conflicts, while immense, is nigh undetectable to the Vanguard and other potential invaders due to dampening cloaking technology developed by Lorelei 5. You know this. Unfortunately, however, the Taken are not the Vanguard. And we were a little less than prepared for a full-scale attack to flood our base without warning. We must have caught the Conflux's scent like bloodhounds, because the droves they came in were disturbing. They were led by a massive Taken captain, massive blade in hand. The monsters invaded the Conflux bunker, and Legion alone drew his blade against the captain. He fought valiantly, held his own for quite a long time. You'd have been proud. In a blink, yet his legs cleaved clean off his body in one swing. His ghost, Aegis, decloaked and prepared to treat his wounds while other guardians of the Conflux drew its attention, myself included. But as soon as Aegis began treating Legion, the captain jerked its head, raised its blade. It was fast. Legion's Aegis shattered that day. But then, rather than just finishing Legion off, something incredibly twisted occurred. The captain began vomiting sterile neutrinos into Legion, and Legion became something unspeakable. Watching his body twitch erratically and spring to unlife almost as if his strings were being pulled, jerky and unstable. He warped around the Conflux bunker, cutting down his once fellow guardians, and the Taken captain joined. That's twice the Taken took everything from Legion. Poetic, terrifying, and tragic. Chintu, Crushed by the loss, did everything in his power to stop every taken in the bunker. He wielded 3 threaded spikes at once, and begun a dance the likes of which none of us had ever seen before. Strand wielded at its absolute pinnacle. Zom darted around the bunker, tossing healing grenades to all of our wounded, warning them not to allow their ghosts to appear. While Zom was on triage and evac, Luna had been scouting more radiolarian fluid for the conflux that day. Lorelei was holed up in the research facility and Molly was out on a mission. It was chaos, plain and simple. The aftermath was horrendous. Multiple Guardian final deaths, including that of Legion Steelhand and Chintu Reyes, whose ghost was stabbed clean through the eye from around a corner by Taken Legion. I fired off Divinity at Legion with maximum power and drew my Fatebringer from my hip and evaporated the Taken husk of what was once one of my dearest friends. When I finally broke into the complex research facility, Lorelei stood there with the security cameras on. She had this look in her eyes, this beaten, defeated look. She asked me to turn around, and I did. She held a cell with the core of the Prime Conflux inside of it, emergency extracted from its place in the garden. She inserted the core into my backplate and activated the experimental radiolarian passageways in my armor. "Please, love," she said. "Make sure this never happened." I gave her a big, long hug. Neither of us were absolutely sure I wouldn't just be time lost as a result of this upgrade to my armor. Farewell, my love. The conflux grows. I now have the Stranger's power. I can walk through time freely without a gate. This was an experiment we had been working on for a long while, but we needed to grow the conflux further so we could make more cores. It serves as a catalyst for my armor, like a Vex reactor constantly fueling the mind with pure radiolaria. We're even further assimilated now. That leaves us where we are now. We must prepare anti-Taken countermeasures throughout the conflux. That includes the Prime Vexnet. We're gonna need a lot of materials to do it, but... Say no.